Chapter 8. Chloe. I guess now I can see if all of her when I was your age stories are even a little bit true. Oh no, walk it back, Chloe. Chloe stammered. Ella, hi, nice to meet you. Stunned, she joined her new lab partner, the younger version of her mother, at her table. Ella was 17, not the elegant and strong princess she would become. Her tangled curls, fresh face, and hand-me-down clothes held together with patches were a strange sight for Chloe. Ella gave Chloe a weird look, probably because of the mom comment. Okay, new girl, let's dive in, Ella said. Bridget across the room, Red stood at a lab station with Bridget. She felt a mixture of confusion and terror. This sweet and smiley bubblegum-haired girl decked out in shades of pink couldn't possibly be the same person as Red's mother. So wait, you're Bridget? Bridget from Wonderland, Red asked. Yep, that's me, Bridget said. Red couldn't help staring in disbelief. Chloe and Ella were staring down a dark green seed pod. Ella reached into the bucket on the table and grabbed the pod, squeezing it to extract a thick goo. Chloe watched, surprised by how easily her mom handled the disgusting plant. You just got to squeeze hard, Ella said casually. Oh, well, these are gross, said Chloe, covering her nose with her shirt. They smell disgusting. Come on, these pods don't drain themselves, Ella said. Could you pass me the griffin claw, please? Bridget asked Red. I gotta stir this up. I love your outfit, by the way. Why are you talking like that? Red asked. Like what? You just sound different. Red was floored by the changes in this person she'd known her whole life. I'm not quite sure I know it's me. This is all just a lot to take in, Red said. Sorry, I just never had to. Ew! The pod in Chloe's hand leaked goo everywhere. Unimpressed, Ella looked Chloe over. Chloe dry heaved. You okay? Ella asked. Yeah, sorry, you're just not what I was expecting, Chloe said. Ella gave her a defensive look. Why, you never worked with someone who's not royalty. Worried a commoner might rub off on you? No, Chloe cried. Ella looked skeptical. Chloe knew she was messing everything up. Red and Bridget were doing slightly better at getting to know each other. How many kids were at your old school? One, Red said, just her. I was homeschooled too, until I came here. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Do you want a hug? Bridget asked, moving in. Red backed away. Not really a hugger. Bridget wasn't deterred. I've got the perfect thing to make you feel better. I made him this morning. She leaned under the table and brought out a tray of bright pink cupcakes, each topped with a delicate pink feather. Red paused, waiting for the joke. Her mother would never offer anyone a treat like that. She wouldn't offer any treats. Fabulous flamingo-feathered cupcakes, Bridget said proudly. Cupcakes? Red asked, flabbergasted. Don't worry, they don't bite. Not like those gingerbread men I made last spring. Bridget giggled at the memory. I won't be using that cookbook again. Red stared for a moment, unable to believe this was really her mom. Then she tentatively took a bite of the delicious-looking cupcake. To her surprise, it was incredible, and also to her surprise, her long red-tipped nails had magically turned hot pink. Whoa, these are fabulous, Red said, reaching for another. That was what her mother kept from her in all of Wonderland? Just one. Or there can be side effects. Now, ready to tackle the excitement? Bridget asked. Why are you so nice? Red asked, narrowing her eyes. Bridget smiled and placed her hand on Red's arm. You get more with sugar than salt, she said. Red was dumbstruck by that answer. Who was this girl? And how had she turned into the Queen of Hearts? But Bridget clearly intended to show Red what she meant. Once class was over, Bridget burst out of the office, carrying her cupcakes with her while Red, Chloe, and Ella followed. The other students from their class trailed after the group. In the quad, students ate lunch with their friend groups, and Bridget carried her tray. dropping off a cupcake with each student she passed. As they tried her cupcakes, they transformed into their own unique ways. Someone's tights turned bright pink, then someone else's pants, a pair of sneakers, a hat. Everyone who ate a cupcake pulled a sweet dance move. It seemed like Bridget knew exactly how to brighten the entire school's mood. Continuing her mission to make sure everyone got a treat, Bridget approached Faye, who was sitting by herself looking stressed. Faye took a big bite of a cupcake and her magic wand transformed. Bridget smiled and moved on to Merlin Academy's resident inseparable couple, Jasmine and Aladdin. Next, Bridget called out to Charming, Chloe's dad. All four of the girls dodged out of the way as the young and gorgeous version of Chloe's dad zoomed by on a skateboard. With his shoulder-length hair tucked under his helmet, he skated in a circle and snacked a cupcake. He dug in as he flipped, and in mid-air, his board turned bright pink. Red liked his style. Okay, Red said coyly. For an Ordon guy, he was pretty cute. That's my dad, Chloe said. Oh, Red said sheepishly. Red caught up to Bridget, who was still handing out cupcakes. So you're friends with everyone? Oh, gosh, no. My only friend is Ella. But with time and a few more treats, they will be, Bridget said. Out of Bridget's view, Ella widened her eyes for Red and Chloe's benefit, clearly saying, no, they won't. But the moment was quickly interrupted by the arrival of the VKs, tumbling into the courtyard in a riot of sound. Red could barely believe that there had been a time before Queen Mal and King Ben when VKs and AKs went to school together. This looked like madness so far. The first one to step up and introduce himself was Hook, a preening rich kid with an earring and a shiny hook where his left hand should have been. Following Hook was Morgie, son of Morgana Le Fay. He was a blonde charmer wearing serpent green silks. Hades, a fiery bad boy in a leather motorcycle jacket, and his girlfriend Maleficent wearing a horned headpiece joined them next. Last, Uliana, the younger sister of Ursula, arrived with all 8 of her wicked tentacles and a seashell necklace on display. Uliana's tentacle shot out and snagged a cupcake from Bridget's tray, shocking Red and Chloe. Thanks, Uliana said. Oh, sure, of course. Happy to, Bridget started. Another one of Uliana's tentacles slithered around and stole the entire tray. For all. I mean, flamingo feathers are, like, rare, right? Uliana asked, her tentacle holding the tray much higher than Bridget could reach. Ella stepped up defiantly. Hey, give that back to her. I'm sorry, Uliana said mockingly. I don't speak peasant girl. Love your outfit, by the way. It's so put together. With another tentacle, Uliana pulled the threads on Ella's patched shirt and left it tattered and torn. The VKs laughed, especially Morgie and Hook, who were desperate to win Uliana's favor. Uliana put on an innocent face and used her magic power to mimic Bridget's voice perfectly. With her magic shell necklace glowing, she said, My name's Bridget, and I have to bribe people to be my friend with treats because I'm such a loner. Chloe picked up a bat someone had left behind and wielded it like a sword. She threatened Uliana. Hey, the code of conduct prohibits theft and bullying. Hook stepped in and wrapped Chloe's bat sword in his hook, neutralizing him. Easy, lass. I don't know where you come from, but here we don't fight until after school. Meet me then, Hook said. He leaned in, smitten, despite her obvious disgust. Chloe pushed him away. You wouldn't stand a chance, she said to him. He just laughed as he backed away. Undaunted, Red stepped up to Uliana next. Listen, Squid Face, give the cupcakes back, or I'll rip that magic tongue out of your throat. Uliana smirked. Girl, I only wanted the feathers. Her tentacle plucked the feathers off of all the cupcakes. You can have the rest, she said. But then she just whipped the tray at the ground, and the cupcakes splattered onto the hard stones at their feet. Uliana grinned and then opened her mouth, ready to drop the feathers inside. Wait! That's too many, Bridget started. It was too late. Uliana popped the feathers into her mouth and swallowed them whole. Instantly, her Lips and eyelashes turned bright pink. You shouldn't have done that, Bridget said sadly. You are just jealous of the fabulosity, Uliana said, pulling out a mirror. She puckered her lips, admiring her reflection. You can't handle my squawk! A wild bird call involuntarily erupted from Uliana's mouth. Her friends stared at her, confused. What was Uliana started? Squawk! Let out another bird sound, and pink feathers sprouted all over her body, popping out one by one. You're all right, Uli? Hook asked cautiously. You're looking a little pink. What's happening to me? Get them! Another loud bird sound was released from her mouth, and Uliana fell to the ground. From all across the lawn, students converged, staring at her. Flamingo Uliana looked around, panicked and embarrassed. She tried to speak, but could only squawk. Someone help her, Face shouted. Yeah, someone should help her, drawled Hades, making no move to do so. Morgie tried to get her back on her feet, but she pushed him off. And when Uli looked up, ready to snap at him, everyone saw that she had grown a massive pink beak. Flamingo Uliana glanced around frantically before her gaze locked on Bridget. She ran at Bridget. Bridget tried to escape, but Uliana pursued her relentlessly, all the way to a fountain. Bridget! Bridget! Ella cried. Uliana rushed around the fountain, nearly catching Bridget until Ella stepped in and hip-checked her. Uliana toppled sideways and splashed into the fountain. The crowd of students watched as she floundered in the water. Bridget stared, speechless. Ella coolly led her by the elbow out of harm's way. After a moment, Uliana thrashed up to her feet, back in human form and soaking wet. Even though the magical transformation had worn off for Uliana and the student body, Uliana was mortified at everyone laughing at her. She had never been so humiliated in her life. Where's Bridget? She growled. Red stood in shock next to Chloe. So, pretty sure we just found out who's going to do the prank, Red asked. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't so bad, Chloe said. A sopping wet Uliana screeched in anger. I will destroy her, Uliana vowed. Red shot Chloe a disbelieving look. It couldn't have been clearer than that. Maybe it was, conceded Chloe. Tell Bridget this isn't over, cried Uliana.